Live, Anna, for our fifth Flowers and Friends talk show.
Oh my God.
We made it to our fifth episode.
I know, and it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, I'm learning so much about flowers and our audience. I mean, they keep sending message telling me how much they love the show. I know they write to you, and our Instagram account is growing dramatically.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of flower friends have come over there. I grow cut flowers. I feel like I know a lot about flowers, but I got to tell you, our experts we've had on here have taught me so much already. I loved Bridget Malloy that came on last week. She taught us how to make a floral foot soak. And I got really excited because I actually grow the three flowers that she mentioned to have in the foot soak. And I'm like, okay, so now I need to go to my gardens and get the calendula. I need to go get the yarrow and go get the rose petals and make me a foot soak.
You do need to do that because last weekend I went to my aunt's house and I got all the ingredients that were needed, and I got to do the foot massage. Then I did Carrie Lucet lilac water, which is so hydrating, while reading Jenny Thomason's book. I mean,
Yes.
it was paradise. I told my husband, you need to take the kids away for a couple of hours because I need to relax. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Why don't we show the audience a clip from last week?
Sounds great.
Skin with my homemade honey and chamomile clay mask. So this homemade mask has only 4 ingredients, 3 of which are totally supercharged with flower power. Everything is all natural and organic. Again, just making sure we are putting on our skin the most wonderful botanical products that are healthy from within.
When we're trying to relax and pamper ourselves, herbs are absolutely such a support system. So a lot of people, of course, like having gardens, having flowers, but if you actually also incorporate herbs into your daily lifestyle internally, it can also impact your physiology.
My real hope that people get out is to just be inspired and to do what I always say, to create unapologetically. Use your own creative voice, put a bit of yourself into your piece. If you're true to that, people will always know that you are 100% authentic.
That
was a great show.
It was. It was packed. It was great. Well, we have another super fabulous show today, all about, things you can do with your wedding or maybe an event that you're having.
Getting ready for your wedding. This is going to be an awesome show. Why don't we begin?
Yes.
I'm so excited for today's show. I mean, wedding season is just starting, and we have great experts that will be sharing their knowledge with us. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, so our 2 experts that we have on today are actually BloomTV experts. And as you are watching this show, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe show you how you can subscribe to BloomTV Network so you can watch their videos. Let me show you a screen right here. You just go to bloomtvnetwork.com. You hit the watch button that is up top right there. And it will give you prompts on how to subscribe to BloomTV Network. We also have a special discount code for you for just watching the Flowers and Friends talk show today. It is 10% off with the code Flowers and Friends.
It's a great flower channel. I mean, you're gonna love it. Once you start watching one of the videos, you can't stop. And it's so good because you can watch it anywhere, wherever you are, while you're waiting in line, while you're waiting for your kids to go off from a class or somewhere. I mean, you can see our videos everywhere. We have more than 300 videos already.
Wow. Well, let's get into today's show and let's bring on our guest, Anna.
Yay!
Our first guest today is Miss Carly Jean.
Hi,
Welcome.
how are you?
Hi, Carly. We're so happy to have you with us. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you because our dear Carly just graduated last weekend and
That's
she was
right.
able to start her business, her flower business, while still going to college. So we're so proud of you and can't wait for you to tell us all about this incredible adventure.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Our next guest that we have today is Miss May Rose Marquez, and she is with Anna.
Yay!
Hi. Hi, everybody.
We're so happy we're together.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, our first guest where you guys are actually live with each other, which I'm really excited about that right there.
Yes, you have no idea. We have a beautiful setup behind us that we're gonna show you when the time's right.
Right. Yes. Yes. Well, Carly, I would love to know when people go on to BloomTVNetwork.com, what kind of videos do you have there?
Yeah. So when I got contacted by Bloom, I was super excited. I thought this was going to be a great opportunity just because I am pretty young to be in the field. So I thought this would be sort of the perfect platform to tell my story. So a lot of my videos on Bloom Network are sort of me explaining like how I even got to this point and the like struggles and the highs and the lows I've had along the way, while also giving some tips and tricks like how to make bridal bouquets and some other wedding tips.
Yeah, your videos are a huge inspiration. I mean, everyone, you need to watch them because Carly inspires you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's awesome. It's been an incredible journey so far.
I love it. May Rose.
Yes, why don't you tell us a little bit about your videos?
Okay, well, basically, it's just showing everybody how to set up a beautiful picnic setting. You can do this on your own. You don't really need to have a table, as long as you have the things that you need that you would like to set up a beautiful picnic anywhere.
Every time your videos pop up on my Instagram, I'm like, I wish I was there. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I was there.
And I'm so lucky because today I am there.
I know. So, it's just so fun just to be here. I can't believe I'm here with Anna right now.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to see what you're going to show us. And I'd also love to hear your story, too, of how you got into setting up picnics as well as you're doing your demonstration. So fun. All right, you guys. Well, sounds like we have a lot of great things to watch on Bloom TV. Let's get into our very first segment with Miss Carly Jean. So, Miss Carly Jean, hello. Carly. So, Carly Jean, first of all, congratulations because you are a new college graduate.
Yes, as of a week.
As of a week ago.
Yay.
Carly started her flower business while she was in college, which I think is something pretty spectacular because starting your own flower business is hard.
Yeah, it definitely is really hard, and especially in college too. It wasn't really the plan. It sort of just happened, and I would sell bouquets on campus at different Greek life events, and it was more of a hobby. And then I got asked if I would do wedding flowers, and I was like, well, sure, I can try that out. And I really started thinking like, okay, this is a way I can make this hobby into a career, right? Because I rather do a $3,000 wedding instead of a $30 arrangement.
Definitely.
I sort of switched gears and started focusing myself as solely only a wedding event. That's what I do now because I do work out of my home, and so I don't keep an inventory like your day-to-day flower shop.
Right. Yes, definitely.
Well, now Carly is a very, very busy wedding florist that is all booked up. I thought it would be fun. Let's play a segment from one of her Bloom TV videos right now.
Great. And the design and the care put in for the flowers, it's more than just putting stems together and making something pretty. It's
it's a passion. When you're making a bridal bouquet, you're making the piece she'll walk down the aisle with when her dad gives her away. When you go and make the arbor that they'll say I do at, not only are you giving them a good photo up backdrop, but you're part of the memories. You're part of the history of that day that will be forever. And it's just a super cool feeling that I get to be something so special to someone.
Oh my God, that is so
Amazing.
inspiring. I mean, yes,
Thank
you
you.
are a part of somebody's, one of their most important days.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, because so much goes into a wedding, right? So much planning, so many vendors, and as a bride, you should be picky and you should book out who you think will suit your needs the best. And so for me to be able to be part of that is something very special.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to see what you're going to show us today. I know you've got something fun to show us, and you're also
Yeah.
going to help some brides out by giving them some tips and tricks.
Yeah, right. And so as you can see behind me, I have 2 weddings this weekend. And so here's some of the bouquets I made. But one of the bridal bouquets I made for this weekend, I feel like really is sort of falling in line with some trends I think that are sort of shifting in the wedding flower industry. So here I have a bridal bouquet that I made. I
Wow.
wish you guys could smell this because
Yes.
it smells so good. And so we have a lot of different blooms in here. As we can see, this is sort of a more white, traditional, classy, elegant wedding. And so we have different sort of dahlias. We have white stock. We have some beautiful garden roses that are all in it. Some ranunculus, lysianthus, just a great variety of flowers. But something you'll notice about this bouquet is it doesn't really have a lot of greenery. It has some Italian rustic to complement it, but it's mostly florals. And I think a trend that is coming into the wedding industry, especially for 22 and 23, is a lot of heavy florals and light greenery. When in past trends, we've seen lots of eucalyptus, silver dollar eucalyptus, kenai eucalyptus, and we've seen lots of eucalyptus heavy weddings. But I think that's sort of falling out, and this trend is falling in.
I love it. It's gorgeous.
Yes, it smells great. And along with the trends, really thinking about it, I also think baby's breath. I feel like baby's breath is sort of making this comeback. But in mass amounts, like mass amounts of baby's breath, hanging installs of baby's breath. Or I've even have a wedding later this year where it's going to be like a half moon arbor, and it's just going to be all baby's breath. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And with that, something apart from flowers, I think pearls are becoming in, like sort of with that modern, elegant feel. I think is super fun. And I think we can expect a lot of that in the future.
Wow. We have a great question here from one of the viewers. What flowers would you offer for a low budget wedding?
So a low budget wedding, the tricky thing when you work with a florist that like is like me and who just does events only and doesn't keep an inventory, flowers come in bunches. So like when I get flowers, I can't get one rose. It comes in a bunch of 25 roses, right? So with that, it's something you need to keep in mind, which is great for elopement, because usually if you get about 1 to 2 bunches of each, you could make a bouquet and maybe some boutonnieres and like a bridesmaid's bouquet, you know? So that's like sort of the sweet spot if you're wanting something smaller. And so the flowers I would recommend for sort of a low budget wedding would be sort of more your day-to-day flowers, such as carnations or daisies, a lot of greenery, because of course greenery doesn't cost as much as blooms. Yeah, and so I would probably recommend those florals.
Oh, that's great. Wow, that's amazing. And what are other ways that brides can save on flowers?
Yeah. And because working in the wedding industry, and I'm also engaged myself in planning my own wedding, I definitely understand how a budget can get eaten up really quickly, right? And some people might not have as large of a budget for flowers as they wish they could. So I think some ways to sort of make the most of your budget and utilize that budget is like where to put your flower money, per se. And I would say the three top things to put your flower money towards to make it sort of more of a statement, make your flowers known, is definitely in pieces. So when I say that, I mean something like for the ceremony, right? At your ceremony, it'd be great to have some sort of florals behind you because you're going to have a lot of photos there. You're going to have a lot of photos in front of your ceremony place. So either that be an arbor spray or some floor pieces or a hanging install if you're getting married inside. Definitely put some money towards that. And I would also put some money towards your sweetheart table, like where you and your now husband or wife are going to be sitting. Because when you think about it, you also have a lot of photos taken there too. That's where you eat dinner. That's where you listen to toast. That's where you sit down if you're not going to be on the dance floor. And so if you decorate that little corner of you and your partner, it really adds a lot to another statement piece there, either that be a spray on the table or something hanging behind you guys. I think that's the best way to utilize your flower budget.
Wow. Yeah, those are great tips. And someone's asking here, are you doing your own flowers for your wedding?
Yeah, I am doing my own wedding flowers. It's going to be so crazy how much stuff I want. But what's great though is the venue I'm using is fantastic, and they are allowing me to use the venue the whole day before. So I'm going to make all the flowers the day.
Yeah, that's great. I also did my own wedding flowers.
Did
So
you really?
yes, it's gonna be challenging, but a great memory. I mean, you're
Right.
gonna have so much fun. Get all your family and bridesmaids involved.
Yeah, my bridesmaids are gonna have to play assistant for the day because they're gonna be helping me. They're gonna be helping me do everything, but it'll be great. And I know some things I'm doing for my wedding that a lot of people could do too is sort of reusing your flowers. Like, what's the best way? A lot of people ask to reuse your wedding flowers because you spend a lot of money and you want them to be super nice quality and you want them to be showcased. So some ways to reuse your wedding flowers is bridesmaids bouquets. When you think about it, they use them for pictures and during the ceremony, but really not during the reception, right? They're not out on the dance floor holding their bouquet. And so a great way to reuse bridesmaids bouquets is I know some people use them as centerpieces, just like with the flowers sitting on the table would look nice. Or you could set them around the venue, set one on your sign-in table, set one by the bar, just sort of give that little flowered feel around the venue. And bridesmaids bouquets are a great way to do that. Something else, another way you can reuse flowers is if you do have a statement piece or something behind, like for your ceremony, like behind you, either that be an arbor, floor pieces, or whatever you would like, it's also great to use that into the reception. So I know, like for my wedding, I'm going to have 2 standing floral pieces, and it's going to be the backdrop for the ceremony, but then they're going to be moved behind the sweetheart table for the reception. And it's something that can be tricky about that is if you order a spray for an arbor, a lot of people would like to reuse that on the head table and set that arbor spray on the head table. But the only tricky part of that, it depends the style of your florist. I know for me, when I make arbor sprays, I make them in contrast to the arbor. So they're very big. The flowers stick out very far because I like dimension in my arrangements. So when you set that on top of a table, it might stand up too tall. Like if you're sitting, and you got flowers in your face. But you could set it on the floor and, do other things like that.
Yes. Well, if there's anyone watching, if you know of a bride or groom that would love these tips, can you tag them in the comments right now?
Yeah.
Tag them in the comments, because this is really some fantastic things to know when planning a wedding, because we all know we all try to save money where we can.
Right.
And also, I think about the flowers too. Let's show off those flowers. Let's use them in multiple places.
Right. Right.
Definitely, because yes, we want lots of flowers, and we have no idea how costly they can be until we begin planning for a wedding. I mean, we see pictures and everything, and we're like, oh, I want flowers everywhere. So, if you can reuse some of those flower arrangements, you will get more flowers in both places.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Recycle
Yes.
them
Thank
in a
you
sense.
so much. Thank you. Thank you so
Of
much,
course.
Carly. These have been great tips. We're so excited. And I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from everything you have shared with us right now. Thank
Yes,
you.
I hope so. Thank you.
And I'm so excited that I have May Rose right here with me. Go, hi everyone. May Rose, I mean, she's been doing picnics. It started out as a hobby. Why don't you tell us how it all began? Because it's amazing what you do. You create this beautiful atmospheres. I mean, look at this, everyone. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it all began?
Okay, well, I just really enjoy going on picnics, whether it's by myself or with friends and family. And during COVID, I did a lot of picnicking, and that's actually how it began. I started August of 2020, and I really had no idea that it was going to blow up. Um, I am busy every weekend. Last week, I did back-to-back picnics, a 20-person picnic on Wednesday, and then again on Thursday. And it's honestly, it is hard, but I truly enjoy it. I love it.
Oh yes, you should see her face when she's setting up a picnic. I mean, when she was setting up this, there was joy coming from her face. It's amazing. And you can watch it on her videos. I mean, there's glow when she's doing this.
And it really is hard because, see, this is just one table. If I have to set up a 20-person picnic, I have four of these that I connect together. And the way I see it, it is actually truly my workout. It is my
That's
workout.
awesome.
And I'm 57 and I, I just like lift those tables. So that's how I see it. And then now, plus with the umbrella, I always like to have an umbrella, and I have the base. And I'm sure you guys all know how heavy the base. It's like 35 pounds, I think. So, but this is it. This is a setup. And what I did here, it's for a two-person picnic. This table can actually accommodate four people comfortably. So right now, this setup is for a two-person picnic. I did like a tea party type of setup, and it's great for a bachelorette, or let's say for soon-to-be husband and wife. They just want to do a picnic together before the actual big day. And you can have a picnic anywhere. In the backyard, which is where we're at right now.
Yes, when May Rose was telling me, I want to do an intimate picnic that couples will get inspired by. And I love the idea of before the big day, why don't you give yourself some time and have a romantic getaway, just the two of you, because on the big day there's so much stuff going on. But imagine this. Why don't you tell us a little bit what we have here?
Okay. So since it's a tea party setup, I do like to use certain flowers. So whenever I think of tea, a tea set, I think of roses. I just think roses is a perfect addition to a setting. And also hydrangea. I love hydrangeas. So here's one that I already put together. The blooms, and which is perfect. I think it goes very well with a tea party setting. And what Carly also mentioned, I noticed that as well as far as the greens. It's
Yes.
just all blooms, which I just really love. And I'm very particular with the greenery that I use.
Me too.
So this one actually, I just put this together and took off all of the greenery, the leaves.
Yeah,
So
the foliage. Yeah,
yeah, so
it looks great.
which is really nice. But I love to have a variety of flowers. I do like I like to add just little bud vases like this.
Mhm.
And as far as the vases are concerned, you could actually use any vase. And that's
Mhm.
what I love about this. You don't necessarily have to get a vase
Mhm.
from the store. This is actually just a what do you call this? It's a jar. It's a
Yeah.
jar. And
Uh-huh.
I'm very particular also with the mouth that I use whenever I'm putting flowers together. Because the smaller the mouth, the better. Well, then you use less. You use less flowers.
Mhm.
So, which you could truly save a lot and you don't have to put a whole lot of flowers. And same thing with setting up a picnic. It can get really costly. And I do add fresh flowers with my setting. It is part of the package when my clients order a picnic setup from me. So I
Mhm.
love just to put a ton of flowers. I also like to put flowers with my setting.
Uh-huh.
So just like a bud, so I'll
Oh,
add like a little flower.
Mhm.
So
I
it's a nice touch.
Yes, Mayrose, I would love to know, like, do you specialize in certain types of picnics, maybe for engagements or parties, or do you just kind of do it all?
Actually, no, I don't really specialize on
Uh-huh.
a certain type. I do
Mhm.
love the proposals because they're always different. The men usually have a vision, and I
Mhm.
just love hearing about them. So, and
I
sometimes they don't know, they have no idea. And I had no idea until I started doing these picnics how much a proposal actually costs.
oh,
It's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? This is how much you're going to spend?
That is.
yes.
But it's just so sweet that they're, they'll go out of their way, and I could truly feel how much they love their soon to be fiance. So it's just so special, and it's
Uh-huh.
also that memory that I love, whether it's a proposal, a bridal shower, just
Mhm.
anything, or just a just because friends will get together, and
Mhm.
it just means a lot. And
Mhm.
truly, I'm giving them this special memory, and
Uh-huh.
I became a part of it. So, which is
Yes.
really fun.
Yes, that
Well,
is. That is so great. How by doing our area of expertise, we become special messengers in other
Yes.
people's lives. I mean, we are the messengers of flowers and of
Mhm.
decorations and of those special moments. It's thanks to what we're doing to helping those couples make it even more special.
Yes, and it
mhm.
really is really special. I had no idea. Picnicking was just a hobby,
Right. Yes.
and I just really enjoyed doing it. It was a concept. Every time I would go, I would always
Mhm.
ask myself, how? I wonder how I could do this. But I had no idea in 2020 is when I was going to do this.
So I am really curious about like behind the scenes of like getting the stuff you need for your picnic tables. Like I see those beautiful candle holders that you have behind you, and I
Uh-huh.
know that you must have a whole storage unit full of stuff.
I
I would
do.
I would love to know when coming up with a picnic design, how do you know what colors to use, what vases you're going to use, that kind of thing?
Oftentimes, my client will tell me what colors they want. So
Okay.
they'll tell me, and then depending on what it is, I do have a lot of candle holders.
Uh huh.
I've always enjoyed or liked candle holders and cute little glasses or goblets.
Right.
So I do. So no two picnics are alike. It's always really different. Even if they tell me they want a boho picnic, it will not look like the picnic from last week or even from 6 months ago. Because
Uh
I
huh.
do mix and match my settings, all of
Uh-huh.
my dishes.
Yes. I would love to know if I am going to set up my own picnic, is there anything I should avoid or I should be cautionary with when setting up my picnics?
Well, avoid actually, this is what I discovered. Always
Uh-huh.
make sure that your vases, the bottom is really heavy.
Okay.
Because when we're setting up a picnic, especially at the beach or at the park or even in your backyard, the wind will just
Okay.
topple it over. And then now your table runner, everything will get wet. And it's happened. So I've learned to always get a flat bottom and heavy.
Okay.
So that's a
Excellent.
very good thing to do. And even if you're going to do this on your own. So this one is heavy. And then, of course, you're going to fill it up with water. Another thing also, if you're going to go on a picnic, so like I said, these are jars. So there's a lid. This is what I used to do when I used to go on picnics. I literally would bring with me a jar, fill it up with water, and since there's a lid, and then I'll bring my fresh flowers with me.
That's
Nice.
that's great. What about candles? How do you?
Oh,
Yes.
candles. Candles I can get anywhere. And one thing I learned, I don't know what type of candles. I think if it's made out of not wax, but gosh, what is it? There's a certain type of candle I noticed that it will melt. So this will start to bend if it's super hot. And I
Okay.
can't remember what type of candles. I have not checked it out yet, but I just discovered that. And so now I have to be more aware of the type of candles that I do use for my picnics because I am at the beach all the time and at the park, and it's really hot here in SoCal.
Yes, definitely.
And same thing with candle holders. I always try to get something that's really heavy. So if I know what the weather is like and if I know where the setup is going to be, then I will use certain candle holders. This way the wind will not topple it. There's weight. So I've learned a lot as I just started doing this.
And that's kind of what you're sharing with us on Bloom TV, right? Why don't I forgot to mention about the video, but we can still, why don't we show them a quick video of what Mayrose has on Bloom TV?
And now for the setup. I use baskets to transport the items I use for my picnics. I've learned the best and quickest way to set up is to put all the things I need on the table first and go from there. Voila, here it is. A tea party for two is ready. As you can see, I like to add some finishing touches. A flower in the tea just to make it more interesting and inviting.
That's a lovely setup. That is
Thank
so
you,
beautiful.
Anna.
I loved your videos. What can we expect to see more from you on Bloom TV?
Well, I've had a lot of my followers ask me how I use a lot, like a tent, for example. So like just some tips of how to put something up, that's one of the things that I'm planning on doing is just creating like maybe a YouTube, like on a how to, just so it would stay. And just as the different tips of what I use also for, let's say, my umbrella, if I'm at the park or at the beach and it's just too heavy, or if I have a lot of things that I have to take with me. So I do have a stake that I also found that works really, really well. And also bagging the pillows. I've had a lot of people ask me how or where to get the bags and how I would actually put. Sometimes I could fit 8 to 9 pillows inside a plastic container.
Oh, wow.
So it really depends. It depends on the thickness of the pillow, the fluffiness of the pillow. And so those are like the different things that I could possibly share. Because it is hard. It's hard.
I'm sure it is. I mean, having this beautiful setup, you could also try to do a video on the basics. What are the basic things you need to do a basic picnic?
So picnic basket, of course. I use a picnic basket a lot to transport the items that I use. So there's just a lot of things that I do where it's not just for transporting, but also I use it as a decorative item.
Yes. For pictures. I mean,
Yes.
look at her basket.
So
Beautiful.
cute. That is so cute.
Mayrose,
Yeah.
do you have like a most memorable picnic that you've ever set up?
I do, good and bad.
Oh,
We want to hear.
Yeah.
The most memorable ones are usually the ones when the clients, usually the surprise picnics for either their family or their special person. And it's just really, it just brings such a smile. And like I basically added that memory so into their life. Gosh, there's just so many.
Uh-huh.
There's
Yes.
a lot.
Oh,
I can't think of God. Yeah, but there's just a lot of things, and truly, I just really enjoy doing this. I've had many repeat clients as well, and
Mhm.
it's really exciting that they would. Some of them would find a reason to have a picnic with me.
oh, that is lovely. And I'm sure the same happens. I mean, Carly, you must have great stories as well
Oh
as
yeah.
some crazy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was probably one of the craziest stories I've had is there was a wedding I did and I went to go make an arbor and she had a circular arbor and the structure was super weak and she wanted
Ooh.
flowers hanging on it and I was just like there's no way I'll be able to hold these flowers. And so on the spot we decided to change the design by doing 2 floor pieces and a small spray on the arbor because that's just about all it could hold. Um, but we still needed to like give support to the base of the arbor. So we were just like trying to find something in this venue, something to work. And we ended up, it was my mom's idea. She's great on the spot. We wedged high chairs, like wooden high chairs they have at restaurants and stuff. We wedged it under the arbor, right above, like right under the circle, and it held it. And I made floor pieces to cover it, and you would have never known.
Exactly what happened behind the scenes are always great stories to
Yeah,
tell.
behind the
Nobody
scenes,
knows,
crazy.
and the feeling afterwards, it's so incredible because there's so much adrenaline going on, and once you're able to solve it and everything looks perfect and nobody knows
Nope, you're right.
everything that went on, it's a
Right.
great feeling, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. I've had so many of those. Yes.
Yeah, and then you're on the clock and you have to get it done at a certain time.
Sweating.
And you got to be able to think on your feet for
Yep.
sure. You definitely have
That's
to be
right.
a problem solver. I
Oh,
know
a must.
I've gone to weddings and I completely like have forgotten something I need, right? And so then I'm like Googling the closest Hobby Lobby
Yes.
so I can like run and grab it really quick.
That's- That's happened to
'cause-
me. I did a photo shoot one time for a magazine and I brought all these flowers and I forgot my snips. And I was like, oh no. So here I am Googling the closest Home Depot.
Right, exactly. You got to be able to problem solve and make the client happy. At the end of the day, it's their wedding day. You need to give them your 100%. Like you need to give them your best, and even if like the bumps happen along the way, it's no big deal. I know some clients don't even know like the
Yeah.
day. I'm like, it's her freaking wedding day. She's getting ready. I can't
Right.
get her about it.
Yes.
So you gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? Fake it till you make it, sort of thing.
Totally.
Yes.
And I really think, I mean, this might sound crazy, but I know the three of you will understand me when I say, I mean, in those situations, it's really the magic of flowers that
Yes.
help us get
Yeah.
through it. I mean, there are times when you're like, how did I, oh,
It's okay.
Carly,
It's
you're there.
okay.
How did we make it? How did we solve
Yes.
that? How did
Right.
it happen? And I'm always like, it's the magic of flowers.
Right.
Flowers did their magic and we were able to pull it through.
Yes. Well, this conversation has been so fun, and it's a great segue into our next little segment, which are Kara and Anna's flower tips. And I know mine personally, Carly, I'm looking up at your wall right now, and you have a lot of dried flowers.
Yes.
And so my tip that I'm going to bring everyone today is actually going to incorporate that. And I know Anna has a tip too that incorporates with Miss Mayrose. So if we haven't met, I'm Kara Jameson. I'm a cut flower grower. I grow annual flowers and I grow perennial flowers for cut flowers. And so every week I bring to you what is blooming in my gardens. And although that's a lot of things every week, this week I chose to bring you a stilby. This is a stilby right here, this pink flower. And the reason I chose to show you guys this is a stilby is a shade-loving perennial flower. And a lot of people have a hard time with flowering plants in the shade. You know, people typically are like, I know I can plant hostas, but what kind of cut flowers can I plant in the shade? Well, first of all, you definitely need just some hellebore in there and some Japanese anemones. But for summertime blooms right now, plant some astilbe. And many people ask me, when is the best time of year to plant astilbe? Because it comes in like a bare root plant that you buy from the garden center. The best time is usually in the fall when I plant it. You can also do it early spring. Summer, it's often quite very hot and the ground is dry, so that's not the best time to plant it. Also, I've had some people ask me and tell me that their astilbe is not flowering. Okay. Why is that? And it's likely because your astilbe is in too much shade. Astilbe can take a few hours of sunlight, even though it's a shade-loving plant, as long as the ground is rich, like think under a tree, and the tree leaves have fallen over the years, and the leaves have decomposed, and your soil is really dark and rich. Astilbe likes that kind of environment with moist soil. So therefore, if you give it that environment, it can take 4 hours of sun or so. And mine do, and they bloom beautifully. And one last little tip is, even though this looks gorgeous fresh, I encourage you to cut it too and dry it. It is beautiful dried. I actually use these in fall and Christmas wreaths. They look great in those kind of floral designs.
That's a great tip. And I think astilbe is one of the most delicate and exquisite touches you can add to a bridal bouquet. I mean, it's so, it gives it like a fairy tale.
It gives it like a whimsical, sort of makes it a whimsical feel. I agree. I love it.
Yes. Yes. So if any of our viewers right now have any astilbe growing comments, throw them out there because I love to answer those. But Ana, I can't wait to hear your cut flower tips now.
Oh, yes. When Mayrose told me she was going to be using hydrangeas, I was like, everyone's always like, my hydrangeas wilt so easily. How can I get them? What is it that I can do for them to last longer? So there are a lot of things you can do. First off, it's great if you cannot find hydrangeas with your wholesaler, you can always get the plant. I love getting the plant because then I put them in my garden and they flower every year. They even get to flower again in the season if you cut it right. So if you can and you have the space, get the plant. Your garden will be so happy, just like mine. Then once you cut the flower, I always recommend you fill a bucket with water. Even if you buy them at the wholesaler, you fill a bucket with water and you submerge the flower in it. You can do it for 30 minutes to up to, I've done it the night before, leave them there the whole night, and then remember in the morning, oh my God, my hydrangeas. And nothing happens. But once they hydrate, you need to take off all the excess water. I mean, a lot of people think hydrangeas are fragile. They're not. They just need a lot of water, but they're not fragile. I'm not gonna move them around as I would because then I would get Mayrose all wet. You just wipe off all the excess water. Once you do that, you cut the stem. Always cut the stem. It helps if you have really hot water, which I don't have right now, but if you have really hot water, you can put the stem for 20 seconds in really hot water. That will help to open the pores and they will take more water. And then the last thing, alum. Alum is the magic ingredient for hydrangeas. You get this at the supermarket. It's actually used for making pickles. So it gives the pickles the crispy texture, and that's what we want with our hydrangeas. So you get your alum in the supermarket, and how do I open it? Okay, perfect. Thank you. And you cut your stem after you put it in boiling water. I mean, you cut the stem, put it in boiling water, then you just add some alum to your stem and you're ready to go. Your hydrangeas will last. They will be so crisp and nothing's gonna happen to them. I mean, it's that easy. And it works. It works 100% of the time.
Well, I learned something new today.
Anna, what exactly does the alum do?
It makes it crispy, just like
Crispy.
pickles. It
Oh,
helps the flowers be more crispy.
okay. Now I can't think of pickles the same way again.
Yes, alum is actually used for making pickles. I learned that. And then,
That's great.
so it helps the flowers be more crispy,
Wow.
stay
Uh-huh.
crispy.
Good to know.
Mhm.
I should
And
have
then
done
you put it in
that.
water
There we go.
and you're ready to go. And also, one more thing, hydrangeas are the only flower that I recommend and that I know that you can spray water on them, because hydrangeas need a lot of water. Hydrangeas need to hydrate. That's
Right.
the name. Hydrangeas, hydration.
Right.
So they need a lot of water.
Yes.
And so you can spray them, but they're the only flower. I would not recommend spraying a rose or anything else because they
Right.
will rot. But
Yeah.
hydrangeas, you can do that.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I did an arrangement with hydrangeas and it was really warm and I put it in the fridge.
And you kill them?
Yes. So I guess that was a no-no.
Yes, I don't think you can put any flowers in the fridge.
Yeah, regular refrigerators are set. So I use a cooler. I actually turned my walk-in pantry in my house into
Uh-huh.
a walk-in cooler. And I bought a CoolBot, which is really great. You just hook it up to a wall, like a window AC unit, and it can keep a room like down to 30 some degrees, which is great. But I keep my cooler set around 45 degrees because you want to keep flowers cold, right? So they don't bloom as quick. You know, they stay fresh, they stay crisper longer. But if you put flowers in regular refrigerators are just set a little too cold.
Okay.
And I also learned that the hard way. So yeah, I would say
know.
around 40 some degrees is probably the sweet spot for flowers.
Yes, and there are a lot of things that one will learn as you go through the process. But then again, there's a lot that's already been shared, like right now. So there's a lot of headaches you can save yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
By
Well,
most definitely.
actually, speaking of headaches, I'd love to throw this tip out there too, because I love to grow plants and cut flowers. And I love the idea of buying hydrangea plants and cutting your cut flowers and then planting them. Just a really quick tip. When you buy your plants at the garden center, take a photo of the tag so you have the name of your hydrangea and what type of hydrangea it is, because this is very important. Some hydrangeas only bloom on new wood, which means you need to cut it in the winter. And some only bloom on old wood, which means if you cut those stems in the winter, your blooms are gone. And the reason I say this is you can just go Google it, and Google will easily tell you if you should be pruning your hydrangea or not.
that is a great tip. Thank you so much. This is something I love about the show. We're learning. We're constantly learning.
There's so
And
much to learn. So
there's
much. I learn something every day. Like, and every expert on Bloom too. You know, that's the beautiful thing about Bloom Network is all of us are educated and we're in the flower industry or event industry. But then, you know, you watch a fellow expert's videos and you're like, the more you know, I didn't even know that. And that's so wonderful.
Yes, and if you're just tuning in, I mean, if we just randomly appeared on your screen and you're like, what's BloomTV? BloomTV is the first flower channel ever. We have more than 100 experts showing their area of expertise in so many topics: beauty, health, flower design, growing flowers, farming flowers, painting flowers, meditating with flowers. I mean, there's a lot of things. And you can subscribe to BloomTV when you go to bloomtvnetwork.com. And as you enter the screen, if we can put it there to show our viewers. Okay. There you click on I cannot see.
Watch.
watch. You click on watch, and you will be able to subscribe to the platform. If you use the code Flower Friends, you get a 10% discount. And you have more than 300 videos. They're entertaining. There's so much joy to watch. I really encourage you to subscribe today and start your weekend with the right food, having fun with flowers.
Yes, and while you're at it, we really hope that you would come over to our Instagram page, Flowers
Mhm.
and Friends _ talk show. And follow us there because we're always posting about our guests. We love to show clips from past episodes. And also, when you guys recreate what we are showing on the show, we love to share what you're doing. So please send us a message with what you're up to. We'd love to chat with you and show what you're doing.
Yes, and if you have any questions, if there are any topics you'd like to see in the future, I mean, we're all ears. This is a
Yes.
fun time we get to have every Friday where we talk about flowers, where we learn about flowers, where we have a good time because this is the most
Yeah.
important thing we want to have a good time with friends talking about flowers.
Yes. Yes. Well, Mayrose, Carly Jean, we are so thankful that you guys came on our show today. Thank you so much. I don't want to say goodbye, but we must say goodbye. But thankfully, we can find you guys on BloomTV and also your socials as well, which are linked on our Instagram page. So thank you so very much.
Oh,
Yay,
Thank
you
guys,
so
you.
much.
it's been great. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Anna, the magic of TV.
Yay!
So, Anna, this was really fun. We also have a really fun show.
Hold on. Wait. Mayrose, your mic is on. So
Oh,
we're listening to everything you're saying. Okay. This is the first time we're doing the show with someone here with
work
us.
out the
So
kinks
sorry.
here.
Yes. So
We used
we
to
need
having
you to keep
everybody
quiet for a
live.
while. Okay. Go on, Kara.
There's a lot of working parts, to making a talk show. I think this is really fun that people are getting to see it. And next week, it is another really exciting show for not only us, but for BloomTV.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are going to have Jessica Sparzak on. And Jessica Sparzak has filmed the first BloomTV produced show that you will actually be able to watch for free on BloomTVNetwork.com. And also, Anna, do you want to tell them about the magazine?
Yes, I mean, what Women Create and Where Women Create is an incredible magazine that portrays the work women are doing in all kinds of different areas. So we partner, Bloom TV has partnered with them, and we're going to be showing some of our experts on their magazine, and then we're also doing a video of that person. So on, I think it's May 31st, you're going to be able to watch the video, and then you're going to be able to get the magazine that is an incredible magazine. I love that magazine. I've been reading it for like 10 years, and it's an incredible magazine.
What an honor it is for Bloom TV to be in the magazine, and they are having their first expert featured in the magazine that's coming out. I believe it's the end of May. And I believe the physical copies are coming out at the end of June. Just take a look at the What Women Create website. I'm sure they've got all the info there for you. But what an amazing opportunity.
It is. And it's going to be great to have Jessica tell us all about her experience and how recording this episode was. I mean, this is our first produced video.
Yeah, Jessica's going to talk to us about how nature and floral design really helped her through some things that she was going through. And I'm excited to hear her story and see how nature inspired her.
And somebody's asking here where they can get the magazine. You can get it at Barnes and Nobles, Whole Foods, Michael's, and I'm sure, I mean, if you go to their website, I'm sure you can order it because I know there are people that are subscribed to the magazine. So
Yeah, it comes digitally to you also if you want that option.
It is. Well, guys, we're so happy about this show. I mean, we had great experts as every week. I mean, this just keeps getting better
It does.
and better.
It does.
I
It
mean,
does.
if you just tuned in, remember the show, you can watch it on replay on BloomTV's network.com. It's always there. You can watch all of our episodes there in case you've missed them, because every week we're sharing something different and something exciting. As always, we invite you and your friends to tune in to next week's show. Tell them why, Kara.
Well, everything is always better with flowers and friends. Also, we really want to thank our sponsors for being here with us today. Let's show a quick video about BloomTV and our sponsors.
We have built the world's first flower-focused streaming network, bringing the public educational and entertaining shows that highlight the magic of flowers. Learn how to heal through flowers, cook with flowers, design your living space to reflect nature, make crafts using florals, sustainably garden, and so much more. We are your network for all things floral. Join us at BloomTV as we help bring beauty to the lives of people and the planet through nature's most beautiful creation, the flower.
It's been great to have you here, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love reading your comments, your question. It's a joy for us to be able to be your voice to our guests, to ask your questions, and so they can answer to you.
Yes. Thank you. I see Bonnie, Lorena, Paonia, Marina, Hector. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to join us next week. Ana, why should they join us next week? Because everything is
better with flowers and friends.
Thank
So
you,
see you
guys.
next week.